Once you've registered your team with the site, entered your roster, and put in your default settings, you're ready to start creating a match. If I go up to the events on the top, create an event, the title screen I will use the school names as the title, and then for the date and the time I will select the date and also the time, which is in military time. Click done, go to next. At this step, it has defaulted my team as the home team, so it already has me in there. And it has also defaulted the states that I'm choosing other teams from to my state. In this case, I'm going to add some visiting teams. I'm going to use their mailing address of the school that I is visiting to find them. Click add. In this case, it'll send that coach an email saying that you're going to be part of an event coming up. And I can add multiple teams. I can also add a team that does not have a roster within our system. If I select a team that does not, and I add, that's also will send that coach. It'll send that coach a temporary link to add their roster into the system. So I can add the coach's name, the email address, and any comments that I would like. Send that request out, and that will go to that coach and give him a temporary link, which is useful all the way up until the date and time of the event. Now, in the case of wanting to inactivate a wrestler because they did not show up, I can simply click on that number of wrestlers on that roster to expand it. And in here, I can find them in the active or non-active list, and I can uncheck them if they are inactive for that evening's event. I can always click back on there to minimize that. Now, down at the bottom here in the basics category, these are my default settings that I've chosen for my team. I would like wrestlers to get 3 matches in an evening. I would like the max level difference out of a scale of 1 to 5 to be 2, meaning a 3 can wrestle a 5, but a 2 could not wrestle a level 5 wrestler. And for grade level difference, I've selected 2 on here that prevents any 5th graders from wrestling with 8th graders. In the other one, allow matches from your own school. I don't like when teammates wrestle teammates unless I absolutely have to schedule one of those matches, so I click no. I also have my weight criteria down here, which you can change anything you want. I have 0 to 109. They're going to be a weight variance of 10%. And then from 110 to 160, within 10 pounds. 161 to 185 will be within 15 pounds of their weight. And 186 up to 300 will be within 20 pounds of their weight. You can add as many different levels and stages in here and go by percentages or pounds as much as you want. Once I click the next button, it will actually create those matches for me. So what I'll see here is the title of my event, the date and the time. If I scroll down below this top portion, I will see I start with match 1, and in this case it is scheduled 109 matches for the evening.
At this point, if you wanted to change any of the variables, you can always go to Modify Match Configuration. That'll bring you back to the previous screen where you can adjust the basics area or the weight criteria. Once you make those adjustments, click on Next. And then it'll give you a warning that you do have to click on Regenerate Match. And I do want to regenerate the match. Now in the next section we're going to be talking about adding matches manually. Make sure you do this before you do that because it says here any custom matches that you added will be lost. So I click yes. Now I've also had wrestlers that are involved in other school activities where they request that their matches are either earlier in the event or later depending on what their activities are. And what you can do with that is you can simply move their match. You click on any match here and you can click and drag it to where you need it to be. Also, if at this point you realize that a wrestler is not going to be involved in the event for that evening, you can always delete their match by going to the right side. There's an X here that if you click on it, it'll delete that match.
Now at the top, what I'm concerned about are these are unmatched wrestlers who have not received 3 matches for the evening. For me personally, I only worry about the ones that have a match count of 0. Now, a match count of 0 may be a couple things. One, there's nobody within their criteria of what you said for weight, skill level, and grade level. And so the other criteria that I am most concerned about is maybe somebody is within that variable but already has 3 matches. I'm willing to give one wrestler 4th match to give one of the wrestlers 1 match. So what I'll do is I'll look in this drop-down list. These are all the wrestlers that are part of the event. Now for this Chad Nelson, he is 61 pounds, grade 5, level 4 from Wrightstown. So what I'll look for is first around the weight of 61, so within 6 pounds. I see Dimitri from Bayview. His grade level is 8. His skill is 4. The reason why he did not fit is, one, his grade level is 8, and this is a 5th grader, so he would not have fit in there. And then also he has 3 matches already. Now I'm going to give this, I would talk to the visiting coach, make sure that this is fine, but I would say I would give this wrestler a 4th match to give this wrestler 1 match. Once I have them in there, I simply hit the plus button to add that match, and that'll add it to the very bottom of all our matches. So now I'll have 110 matches. And I could do that for all these 0s or 1s or 2s. For me personally, the only ones I worry about are the ones with 0 matches. Now in this case, to get all the paperwork that I need as a coach, right in this area is all my reports. The first one is this table score sheet. I use that for all my table workers. So depending on how many mats I have will depend on how many I print off. In here it just shows the wrestler's name as well as the school that they're from and the match number. On the coach's score sheet, it adds the information of skill level, grade, and weight. That way as a coach I can kind of see more information that I would want my wrestlers or the table workers to see. I have another report that says matches by wrestler. This is simply a match number with the team name and the wrestler name that you might want to hang on the wall for parents to look at. And then I also have a report for wrestler matches. This I use as a coach. I would go through my roster and tell each of my kids what match numbers they have for the evening, because most likely during the event I am busy coaching and can't be watching them to tell them that they're going to be up soon.
The whole goal of the program is to give time back to the coaches, eliminate the stress of creating matches by hand, dealing with scratches and human error, and then making sure the events start on time. And lastly, we'll be using some of the money to start a scholarship that'll be used for wrestling camps. And any wrestler that school participates in this program will be eligible to draw upon those funds.
If you have any other questions, please just email me at info@matchbyskill.com.